So, Ninja, one of the biggest content creators in the world, one of the biggest streamers, he recently did an interview where he discussed racial slurs being used in his chat and on stream, and he had some very interesting takes. And I thought, as a black man in America, I thought I could give some decent insight on things. Let's talk about it. What's going on, beautiful people? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, Ninja, he's got some interesting takes on racial slurs. But before we talk about it, friendly reminder that I am giving away a free next-gen console. All you gotta do is click that link in the description box below. I'm giving away a free Xbox Series X. Yes, that is Microsoft's new next-gen console, 4K capable. You can play Forza and Gears of War and Cuphead at 120 frames. So if you wanna get your hands on a next-gen console for free, click that link in the description box below. Pause this video, go sign up. It doesn't take but a minute, and then come back and watch this video. And when you do come back, make sure to hit that like button. Cool? All right, bet. Let's talk about today's story. So according to this GameSpot headline, it says, popular streamer Ninja says it's not his job to teach your kids about racism and white privilege. And just as a disclaimer for those of you unfamiliar with my content, my personal beliefs, I often believe the truth lies somewhere in the middle. A lot of times people have biases and they're unaware of it. So a lot of times people with their opinions, they lean either left or right, and they like to pretend like their opinions are facts. But oftentimes I see, because I'm a hyperlogical person, the truth often lies in the middle. So don't expect some wild hot take on this. So in this interview, they asked Ninja how he conducts his streams, and when asked what could be done to mitigate often inflammatory comments made in the chat, which inevitably tends to devolve into some form of derogatory or racial slurs, Ninja said, it all comes down to the parenting. But it all comes down to the parenting, Ninja says. You wanna know who your kid is? Listen to him when he's playing video games when he thinks you're not. Here's another thing. How does a white kid know he has white privilege if his parents never teach him or don't talk about racism? I feel like first and foremost, I'm gonna kind of focus more on the racism side of things, because I feel like that's easy to identify, versus the white privilege thing. That's a whole different conversation that I feel like a lot of white folks are not well equipped to even talk about, because you benefit from it and you unconsciously benefit from it. So it's hard for them to explain that. So I don't even know why they're talking about that. But on the racism side of things, I think every parent is absolutely capable of teaching their kids what racism is. Some people might not like this, but I do somewhat agree with him when he says it is not his job to teach your child about racism. At the end of the day, if you have kids, it's your job to raise them to be the best person possible and treat people. It's funny to me how everybody knows the saying, treat people the way that you want to be treated. But I feel like a lot of people don't actually abide by that law, and then they wonder why their karma and their attraction, what they attract, is so negative. So I do agree to some degree that it is the parent's job to teach the kids about racism. You need to be paying attention more to your kids. This is something I even gotten, not necessarily about racism, but like he was talking about pay attention to your kids and what they're doing when they're playing video games. This is something I got on my parents about, because I have a younger sister. I'm 20 years older than her. Yeah, my parents were fucking when I was 20. And I even said to them, I'm like, yo, it feels like you letting the Xbox raise them. Now, this doesn't pertain to the racism conversation, but it does kind of pertain to what he's saying, in a sense that I do feel like a lot of parents let the Xbox and the PlayStation raise their child, and they pick up bad habits from people in the lobby, and they think that the things that they say are okay. So absolutely, it is the parent's job to raise their kids. Then Ninja went on to say it's not his job to teach kids about culture or topics related to race, because his first instinct is to assume he's being trolled in the chat. All right, so this is where I do disagree with him. What the fuck are you talking about, doc? Like, this is an example of what I be saying, that is like, I don't want anybody to think I have a problem with Ninja per se, but like, the internet is just weird. The first thing you think on your stream when someone calls you the N-word with the hard R is they must be a troll.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
He goes on to say, if they're gaming and their first interaction with racism is one of their friends saying the N-word and they have no idea what it is, what if it was on my stream? Ninja asked. Is it my job to have this conversation with this kid? No, because the first thing that's going on in my head is the kid is doing this on purpose to troll me. If someone says a racial slur on someone else's stream, it can potentially get the streamer banned. It's awful, but that's the first thing that I think of. Yeah, I do think it's pretty fucking awful that the first thing you think of when you hear the N-word and you have like a large audience is, oh, this person is trying to troll me and I can get banned, instead of trying to. And it's really weird to me too, because this side of Twitch, they're all about positivity and love and peace and all this other bullshit, right? But you don't take the time to educate people, because like, it's kind of like what he said, like the kid that's saying it, he might have heard it from his friends and he might not know what that is because his parents didn't teach him. So he's completely ignorant. He might not actually be racist. He's completely ignorant to what he's saying. And you, a person of influence, could have took that time to educate them and be like, no, You shouldn't do that. And at bare minimum, right? At bare minimum, if you didn't want to take the time to educate the kid that's on the stream, like you just want to mute him to protect your stream, cool. What you could do is you mute him and then you talk to your chat and explain to them why that's not cool to say that. And you shouldn't come from a standpoint of because I might get banned. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds corny as shit. You're just worried about getting banned instead of making the world a better place, because whenever some bullshit happens in my chat and people know, I will fucking cook your ass. I will pause the game and I'll explain to you why you are dead ass wrong, especially when people be talking about like certain things like generalizing women or generalizing men, or like it can be any type of topic where you're just like completely wrong. You should take that time to educate people. And you know what the crazy thing is, like years later, like those people come back and they'll apologize and they'll be like, yo, I grew a lot because you took the time to teach me those things. Is it his job to absolutely teach these kids everything? No, but you could use your platform just a little bit to check people. Then he goes on to say, I don't think it's gaming, I think it's internet culture. People behind the screen, they say what they want and they can get away with it. You have complete anonymity. And then he keeps talking and blah, 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 blah. Basically, you know, you're behind a keyboard, you can't do nothing. I don't think it's internet culture. I believe a lot of you are racist and you don't want to admit it. One of the things that I always talk about on my stream is be careful who you interact with in the gaming community, because one of the things I think is really weird about the gaming community is a lot of you little nerdy motherfuckers that got bullied when you were kids, when you were in high school, little weird ass motherfuckers that are like 35 years old still talking about how you got bullied in high school and how it traumatized. Like, you need to go to therapy first and foremost. But like those people, like a lot of times they think because they got bullied for playing fucking Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie when they were a kid, they think that justifies everything that they do, or they don't have any type of blind spots, right? Just because I always say, just because someone is a gamer does not mean they're a good person. And I don't want anybody thinking that I'm saying that Ninja is a bad person. I think he's a little bit ignorant on certain things, but I don't think he's a bad person. Yeah, I always say, just because someone's a gamer does not mean they are a good person. Be careful who you watch, especially with like these content creators. I remember I went viral on Reddit a few years ago, back like in 2017, because I put out some tweets. Mind you, this is the only time they ever post me on Reddit for some drama. They might post me for this too, because I'm talking about drama. And I had mentioned, like, I noticed like a lot of big white streamers. I don't know if because I don't pay attention as much anymore, but like at that point, I saw a lot of it, like on Twitch fails. A lot of big white streamers would, whenever someone donates, there's like a robot that'll read out the message when somebody donates. So somebody will like donate $5 and then they would just spam the N-word all over somebody's stream. And like that shit always kind of wigged me out, because I understand Ninja's right. It is the parents' job for the most part to educate people on racism. But what I will say is that shit is not cool when you allow people to do that on your platform, because to me, that says to you, a $5 donation is more important to you than being a good person. And if you ask me, that's the worst type of person. How hard is it to turn your donations off for 5 minutes and tell your chat like, yo, chill the fuck out and ban that person? How hard is that? I don't understand that. I do believe what he said is true. It is the parents' job to mainly educate people on what's going on in the world, but that shouldn't stop you from the fact of checking your own chat about certain things. Like, I don't expect Ninja to be out on Twitter being this super progressive person fighting for black rights and all this other stuff, because to be honest, I don't even look to you for that. Like, I don't care. But you can be an ally. At bare minimum, what I think you can do is, if you do see some bullshit in your chat, take the time to educate your chat and be like, yo, you don't even have to do it every time. Like, you can just do it every once, because I don't know how often it happens. If you see it in your chat, just check it, bruh. Just check it. Like, it'll help them grow as a person. Because the thing is, I always say, how can someone know they're wrong if you don't tell them? Like, just like how he said he doesn't know the word is wrong. You acknowledge that sometimes they just don't know. And you have a ton of influence over these kids. I don't expect you to actively be out here fucking at the Million Man March and all that stuff. I'm not looking from that for Ninja. But at bare minimum, when you're streaming, you could at least explain to your audience why that's not cool. Because at the end of the day, if you keep letting it fly, they're gonna keep appearing on your stream and letting it fly. People know not to come in my chat. I'll motherfucking cook your ass with that shit. I think the truth is in the middle, what he said. I think the truth is in the middle. I will say it's very disappointing to hear him say he's more worried about getting banned than educating people. And that is why the world struggles to become a better place. Shit's a goofy ass answer. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Do y'all agree with Ninja? Should you take the time to educate people what's going on, or just keep it moving? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button. Also, if you want to win a free next gen console, there will be a link in the description box below. Sign up to get that free Xbox Series X. You only got a few more days left in January. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.